Hey, this is Joe Gilder from HomeStudioCorner.com. Want to show you a unique little spin on a classic bass mixing trick that you can do in any DAW, but the new version of Studio One, version 3, allows you to do this really easily. So this is both a mixing tip, but also a Studio One specific tip. So the song we have here is a song called Not Alone. It's the one we're mixing this month, the month of June 2015, over at Dueling Mixes. So if you want to mix this song yourself and also get all the behind the scenes of how I mixed it, how Graham Cochran mixed it, and get your mix submitted in the forums and feedback and all that stuff, you need to check it out. DuelingMixes.com, DUELING mixes.com. A lot of fun. If you haven't checked it out, you need to. It's great. And this song is great. It's a great month to join. So real quickly, here is the sound of my mix at that first chorus.
They're coming for you. Are you ready to go now? They're coming between us. They're calling to take you home. They're coming for you.
Okay. Delays all over the place, but we're going to hone in and focus on the bass sound. So here's my bass tone in the mix. Okay, and we'll come over here to my bass bus. Here's the dry signal. Very clean. And here's the process signal with some reverb on there. The reverb is not the point of this video, so I'll turn that off for now. So basically normal compression and EQ settings for bass, but the one difference is I'm using this distortion plugin. Now, using distortion on bass is not a new thing. Certainly. And using it in some sort of a parallel processing sort of way is also not new. But there's a unique twist that PreSonus allows you to do with their new version of Studio One. So the idea here is distortion on bass allows you to get some grit in that upper mid-range that allows you to just hear the bass a little bit better, gives it a little more of an aggressive sound, and it catches the ear. Even if you don't hear the distortion that's there, it cuts through the mix a little bit better. And the way typically you do that is either you duplicate the bass and one of the duplicates has a distortion plugin on there and you blend them together, or you can use something like this red light distortion from Studio One that has a mix knob that allows you to blend between the dry and the distorted signal. But even then, I don't like that approach as much because I'd rather have a little more control over it. And so what Studio One did with version 3, there's this routing view that you can see for your plugins. So if you look here, you can see that this is what my plugins are doing. So I've got a compressor, and then I inserted a splitter. So you can't see the splitter in my normal mix window, right? You can't see. You just see that there's a compressor, a distortion, and an EQ. But this splitter allows me to split the signal between two different signal paths. So I could have 10 plugins here, 10 plugins here if I wanted, and it joins them back together here, all on one channel. What I've done is I've split it and I've set half the signal through the red light district. Now, that's just a distortion plugin and red light distortion, I said district. It's just a distortion plugin. At that point, if we just split it between the two, it's no different than doing any sort of parallel processing. What's different though is the splitter plugin allows us to do a couple different modes. Normal mode just sends the signal equally to both sides, or you can have multiple splits. You can have 3, 4 splits if you want. Channel split sends left and right to different sides, but frequency split allows us to split up the frequency range. So I'm sending, because there's one splitter with 2 paths, I'm sending everything below 145 hertz goes down the left path. Everything above 145 hertz goes down the right path. What ends up happening is the low frequencies that make up the real body of the bass sound get untouched. No distortion happens to them. It's only the little bit mid-range and higher frequencies that go through the distortion. What this does, if you've ever put distortion on a bass, you know that it tends to choke out some of the low end. So you get a more aggressive sound, you get some of that upper mid-range bite that you want, but you lose in the low end frequencies. And it's kind of a delicate dance you have to do quite a bit. So if we mute one of these outputs, okay, so here is the clean bass signal coming through this side. You hear that's just the low frequencies below 145. And then here's the upper frequencies going through distortion. So they're getting the distortion without messing with the low end. Combine them together, you get that gritty, distorted signal and the really deep, low bass that you want. Versus if you put the distortion plugin up here, it's a pretty cool sound, but you can hear how all those bass frequencies in the distortion are causing it to act very differently. I don't like that sound as much as I like sending it, not the entire signal, but everything above 150 through the distortion and letting everything else pass through untouched. This splitter segment here allows us to do that, and we get this sound. And that sound cuts through the mix really well versus the clean signal. So that's all I wanted to show you in this video. Thanks for watching. Again, if you want to mix this song yourself and try your hand at mixing it using this trick and a lot of other tricks that Graham and I can show you in our videos, you need to join Dueling Mixes. Go to duelingmixes.com, check it out. There's a guarantee there. If you don't like it, we will give you your money back. It's not that much money anyway. Check it out, duelingmixes.com. See ya.
Take my hand, I can lead the way.